Hello, and welcome to the Game Room. This is a character creation video for those of you who are new to the hobby, for those of you who want your characters to be more fleshed out, for those of you who want your characters to be more than stats on a page, for those of you who want your characters to leap fully formed from your mind, just as Athena burst from the brain pan of Zeus. And this is Shadowrun 2nd Edition, one of the first RPGs that I've read, and inside are 20 questions that are used for fleshing out your character. And I like these 20 questions, and they've always stuck with me. So I will ask them to you now, and think about how your character would answer each of these questions. Question 1 is, what is the character's sex? It seems like a simple question, but I would add to it, what is the character's sexuality? Because who we are attracted to is a huge part of our psychology, and it's important to know. Second is, what is the character's physical size? Now this can be interesting if your character is, let's say, the Shaquille O'Neal of dwarves, and he's lumbering around at a gigantic 5'2", just towering over the other dwarves. Now the third question is, what is the color of the character's hair, eyes, and skin? Again, it seems simple, but perhaps your character has heterochromia or albinism. Question 4 is, what is the character's general appearance? Now this involves both the way that they dress, the way that they look physically, and the way that they present themselves to the world. Do they seem confident all the time, or are they meek and slumped? Question 5 is, where was the character born? Out in the wilderness? Maybe in a huge city? Maybe in a desert realm, and now he's adventuring in the Arctic North. Question 6 is, what is the character's age? Now this is especially important if you know the history of the world that you're playing in, and it would be important to know, what does your character, what have they seen with their own eyes in historical events? Question 7 is, what was the character's family? A huge question, and one that you need to answer. Did they grow up with two parents? Were they in an orphanage? Did they not know their parents at all? Were their parents taken from them? Or are their parents happily living in the gnomish burrow that the character has come from? Question 8 is, has the character begun his own family? This is probably comes up more with older characters. Perhaps your character has children, and they have gone out to adventure and bring back gold to support their growing family. Question 9 is, where or how was the character educated? Was it on the streets in the School of Hard Knocks? Did they go to the finest of universities in the Miskatonic Valley? Or were they simply taught what they know by poring through the library in their off hours? Question 10. Has the character ever done anything else for a living? And by anything else, it's what have they done besides being an adventurer, as it were? Were they once a blacksmith? Were they once a leather worker? If they're either of these things, did they make their own equipment starting out? Question 11. What about the character's political and religious beliefs? Again, an enormous question that can't be answered in a second, but it's definitely one that you'll need to think about, because these sort of things are going to come up in game, and they may cause inter-party rivalries. Question 12 is, what is the character's moral code? Have they killed yet? Well, I say yet because RPGs typically take place in violent worlds, and perhaps your character would never hurt anyone. Perhaps they have slain many sentient beings in the past. It's important to know if the first orc that your character runs their sword through, is this the first sentient being you've killed? And how does your character feel about that? Question 13. Does the character have any goals? Well, rather that should read, what is the character's goals? Because every character needs goals that are important to them. They need something to be the driving fire behind all of their actions. What does your character truly, truly want? Question 14 is, why does the character adventure? Are they after fame, wealth, Perhaps it's revenge. Perhaps it's something as simple as providing for their family and being a axe-swinging brute. This is all that they know. Question 15. What is the character's personality? Again, an enormous question, but you need to think about, are they easygoing, militant, aloof, perhaps radical or idealistic? You need to know exactly how they will react in any given situation. Question 16 is, what special qualities does the character possess? Now these are things beyond having magical abilities or being exceptionally strong or even having a psychic wild talent. These are things like, my character is really good at getting to know people, or my character is phenomenal at lying, or my character just does really well with animals. Question 17 is, are there certain things the character just cannot do? Now, again, these are things beyond, well, my frail wizard obviously can't lift this enormous boulder. But think about, oh, my character just cannot handle money well, or my character just, cannot get close to people, he's so guarded and reserved. Question 18 is, what does the character hate? Perhaps it's a group that murdered everyone in their village and now they're out for revenge. Perhaps it's the undead because they're so foul and abhorrent to them. Perhaps it is fascism or some sort of organization that has worked against them in the past. Question 19. What does the character love? This could be another person. This could be sunsets. This could be gold. This could be their nation. Perhaps they're very patriotic and jingoistic. And finally, question 20. What is the character's name? Again, this seems very simple, but think about a character named Bolgrot Elfsplitter and a character named Feindal Silanesthir. They might not get along, considering that one of them seems to be some sort of troll and one of them is some sort of elf. So, these have been 20 questions that I've always tried to take into consideration. So, think about them for your next character. Thank you for watching, and happy gaming, everyone.